And we're back.
Welcome to the Goldwater. Nothing to declare here. Well, a few things.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Did you notice the Malik Obama tweet?
Oh, which one about Michelle Michael?
Michelle.
Yeah.
All he did was Michelle or Michael,
Right.
and everything erupted. It's just this guy. I mean, come on, 3 words. What I mean. We actually got a lot of people come into the interview we just did with him.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah,
just as a result.
There's a site called "Was Obama Born in Kenya" that shared our that shared the link as well, evidently.
Yeah. So we have something that's really interesting. We haven't talked about.
I hate to ask, but is there any
Hold up,
chance of an upgrade?
folks. Let me mute this. Send this over to studio, and let's see if we can't get this on.
Get a damn ad blocker.
Yeah, I know.
Get a damn ad blocker.
The thing is like one of the best ways of figuring out what's going on is to unblock your ads.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's true. Because then you figure out what they think you think.
Well, and that way I know what identity I'm using.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I kind of forget who I am if you're hopping around places.
Now, I do have a couple of browsers that don't have an ad block on it. So, like, on certain sites, primarily ours, I'll occasionally visit and keep the ads on just like if it's a site that I really love and it's like, no, I want you to have my half a penny per click. Then I'll go in the other browser or, like you said, kind of figure out what it is. So, who do you think I am again?
Let me pass this over to studio. This is, let's see, should we do it in the room? Yeah, or DM? Okay, let's do it in the studio room. So we haven't followed up on Nella Zisser, who, I mean, you guys that read the Goldwater know that we only follow one sport. Well, I mean, unless it's the Masters. Sometimes we'll cover the Masters. So, golf. But it's competitive eating, and so we're gonna bring on Nella Zisser here. Nella, if you guys don't know, former Miss New Zealand and she's a restaurant owner, competitive eater. She placed 2 years ago 6th at Nathan's which is the Olympics.
Right, yeah.
And so we're going to watch her eat a pizza.
Which means she beat some Japanese dude.
Definitely. In fact, actually, New Zealand.
It used to be big fat guys that won those contests, and now it's little skinny Japanese guys. They're efficient. What can I say?
So in New Zealand, what's different is that they don't have, in the U.S., they have a men's and a women's category. In New Zealand, they don't have enough competitive eaters, so it's just one category. So even the trannies are in there. And she is, by far, blows away everyone in that country.
She holds hot, actually.
Yeah. She's a model. I don't know if you've seen any of her pictures.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's a fashion model and a restaurant owner, and also is she's a pre-med student. So we're going to watch her eat this pizza and maybe talk a little Pizzagate. Okay. A little conspiracy that happened. I don't know. We had something happen in New Zealand. There was a shooter, and apparently.
Can I go on the record and say it wasn't me? Stop blaming me, mofos.
Okay, all right.
I just wanted to say that.
I wasn't with him the whole time, but I know that he couldn't have possibly gone there and come back.
Right.
So.
Like.
Yeah. So we're going to be talking about.
You have to mention technically I don't have an alibi. Damn it.
There's got to be somewhere in between.
Right.
I can only cover you so much because I got to do my dirt in the meantime.
Yeah.
So, no. So something really vicious came out regarding 8chan having some sort of culpability in what happened in New Zealand, and how do you respond to something like this? It's like, how would you? Did you know about it?
And if I had been there and seen it, I would have said, "Stop that!" You know, the whole bit. You know,
right?
Honestly.
I mean, if we see DMCA requests, we stop them immediately.
Right.
What do you think we're gonna do if somebody comes out and says, "Hey, I'm gonna go kill a bunch of people"?
Right.
I mean, ridiculous.
Meanwhile, you remember my article about YouTube? How they only get to 2.35% of, like, when people complain about children being exploited, it happens so much that Trusted Flaggers spoke to, forget if it was Forbes or Telegraph or The Independent, said that it's under 3% of complaints that they get to because there's so many.
Yeah.
If you look at Department of Justice's Project Safe Childhood, every week, Facebook and WhatsApp, which, by the way, is owned by Facebook, sometimes multiple times, and Kik. Remember that one week when I did 3 stories about Kik being used to pick up kids and then share the child porn? Like 3 in 1 week. You know, every week this happens. So we should get rid of Facebook because they're like, okay, this sounds bad, but man, it's only every year or 2 that somebody from 4chan or 8chan shoots a bunch of people. Meanwhile, every week, kids are getting raped because of Facebook.
Yeah, but it's not from. I mean, the whole thing was live streamed on Facebook. Okay, I mean
that too.
Now you remember one of the best responded articles. I mean, as far as traffic that we ever had was when we decided to show, and was within minutes of it happening, this live stream suicide. And it was one of these calls where we had just done a story on Facebook, and we'd just done a story on somebody live streaming something, and decided, you know, they're showing it. You know, why don't we?
Remember when the kids in Chicago, the black kids in Chicago, and the mentally disabled young man, and they made him drink his own pee, and they cut him up?
Oh, yeah.
So Facebook is responsible for that. Facebook committed a hate crime against a mentally disabled man. No, not actually.
No.
A user of Facebook did.
No.
But do we blame Facebook? No. Because Facebook's not us.
No.
It's different rules for us, apparently.
I mean, the point here is that, listen, folks, I'm going to take a little detour here. All right, we're back. Everybody likes porn, right? You like your porn. You don't want your kids to get the porn.
So one thing I agreed with Obama on, if you like your porn, you can keep your porn.
Right. So what do we have in place right now? I mean, we have filters. If you go in, and it's a default at a certain level on any search engine. So if a kid, and you can actually put it in your home, in your home router, everything can be flagged. And we dealt with this a long time ago when we hosted pornography not on any of Jim's networks. I mean, actually on hosting companies that I worked for way back when. I mean, right when porn was just getting started. I mean, we're talking dial-up porn. That's stuff you have to wait for.
Yeah, like a single image. And
yeah.
I do remember the late 90s.
No videos or anything, but way back when. I mean, even going back into bulletin boards.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You know, dialing computer to computer.
2800.
Going way back.
28.8K.
9600 baud, baby.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're putting that phone down right here. Get her settled. So there was an idea that, yeah, kids shouldn't be seeing it. And so when WWW started in 1989, even when I was lucky to be one of the first people to actually view a web page, which was kind of cool, aging myself. But even back then, we knew that, wow, we're, you know, this is beautiful, we should share everything, and I mean, this is so much better than a fax machine or a telephone, and this is just great.
The Wild West,
and so it was just on. Everything was on, but even back then, we're like, oh, well, you know what? This could get out of hand. Especially, I mean, because the first thing is porn. Number one, naked ladies. I mean, that's the first thing. After you get all your scientific documents, the next thing that you want to see is...
You know, when the Gutenberg press was made, the first thing that rolled off was the Bible. The second, I guarantee it was porn.
Mm-hmm. Damn straight.
Because that's how communication works in the world.
Yeah.
You know, the first it was the Rosetta Stone, and then it was lewd carvings. You know what I mean? That's just the way the human mind works.
Don't doubt it at all. and throughout, because that's been part of it, you have porn filters. So you have safe search and whatnot. And so now here's a novel concept. World. Internet. I mean, even, I don't know if we're connecting out there, not yet. I don't know. We have an open VPN for aliens.
Yeah.
Nobody's dialed in yet. But we're going to give them porn. But here's a novel concept. Instead of policing the world, why not just do the same thing as people who are offended by such content, or children who shouldn't be viewing violence? Default setting and customize. I mean, they're really great at making filters, right? So customize
the algorithm
everything.
Bubble. Yeah.
Customize everything to say, hey, listen, I don't want to see anything Republican. I don't want to see anything having to do with the United States of America. I mean, you could even like have, you know, but in all honesty, actually, you can have...
what do they call that? Filter bubbles? I mean, it already exists to an extent, yeah.
But, I mean, it exists for porn.
Right.
You can put it on your home router and say, hey, there's kids. All right, so no porn. And dad's trying to log in on a separate side. But, no, the bottom line is that there are other practical applications for it. For example, people with epilepsy. Who are getting, they don't want to see any of the flashing stuff, and it's easy enough to run a filter across and make sure that people with epilepsy don't see flash photography.
Kurt Eichenwald was full of it.
But the point is that instead of policing the world with your own political beliefs, use the existing technology, and then, my Lord, what they've developed to try to police us, patient by patient, citizen by citizen, or number by number. Just put it in a filter. If you're offended, turn your filter on. Have it as default. And those of us who actually want to know what's going on in the world, turn it off. And then we can watch our porn and get decent news.
Right.
Yeah.
The real world.
Anyway.
I can agree with that. Like, I remember the first time you brought up this idea, and I'm like, if the filter bubble already exists, and then, you know, but there's no way around that anyways. And if the alternative is, but see, here's the thing though, they're not going to argue, I don't want to see it. Their argument is, you can't see it because it's dangerous. These are dangerous thoughts that you could possibly have. It's dangerous for these people to talk together.
Yeah.
And, you know, this is another thing that pissed some folks off at Facebook who I don't generally agree with, but we were very amicable generally. We could agree to disagree. And I pointed out that, you know, like, whenever Muslims attack, everybody, all the news, now remember, Islam is a religion of peace, and this is only a very tiny minority that are terrorists, and besides, don't say anything bad about them or they'll do it again. Why don't we treat white nationalists and incels that way? Now remember, most white nationalists and incels are not terrorists, and they are peaceful, and besides, if we call them bad people, they'll do it again. Right? I mean, fair is fucking fair, right?
That's a good point.
You know?
That's a good point.
Hey, is what's fair for the geese good for the Michigander? You know, that's all I want to know.
my God. Wow. We've got some great news. We have a reporter in Venezuela.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So, Dr. Berry, Professor Berry, finally got. She was supposed to get back to me last week, and of course, you turn on the news, and the whole country has no power, no internet. So of course, I was able to get a hold of her, and she finally found some place where she could. And she's writing pen and paper the entire time. And so we have an article right now on the Goldwater. It's titled "The Venezuelan Blackout: A Struggling Country Hits Bottom as It Goes into a 5-Day Darkness." This is going to be the first of a series of articles she's writing on the ground in Venezuela, and we're looking forward to more. But this is an introduction as to what she is going through right now, and I don't know. I mean, I'm actually waiting. I don't know what her political beliefs are. I mean, certainly she's not happy with what's happening right now. I don't think that she's a big fan of Maduro. There's very few people that could be. Yeah.
Who is?
I mean, how could you be?
Like I said a few weeks ago, he's a fat male Marie Antoinette, except his deal is, remember, he's on TV, and while the country's starving, and you're on TV 5 minutes, and you fat ass can't wait, let them eat on empanadas. You know, that's very indicative of what kind of person Maduro is.
People are rummaging through garbage.
Makes a man miss Hugo Chavez. I gotta say,
I'm sorry to laugh.
Chavez, you know, he was one of those, you know, like Trump, like he was ballsy, and like I love to hear Chavez go after Bush. I loved it. Like there's the one time, you remember he said something about like, you know, I would not meet with President Bush if he came near, something about the smell of sulfur as of the devil in hell. It's like, wow, keep going. I'm listening, yeah.
Well, so we're looking forward to more from Professor Berry. Thank you for the article. Godspeed, and hopefully she tunes in and sees this. We'll be linking this show to her article as well. But yeah, more from there. Running through. Okay, I mean, we had a lot of fun this morning with the OKC.
Oh wow!
It's just we're gonna be doing a new meme roundup. It's time. What do we ran through maybe 20, 30.
Like you got me to switch positions in 30 seconds flat. You mentioned Cortez the Killer, and I'm like, you know, I don't like to talk about her because that's just giving her more publicity. And you're like, so have you seen this meme? Oh, AOC memes. Hold on, here, let me give you my collection. Because yes, I mean, come on, she's funny to make fun of. Because, like, I mean, it's such an easy target.
She's not going to be able to catch up. I don't think the learning curve is capable of. I mean,
she doesn't know the difference between the Democrats are blue and the Republicans are red.
Oh my Lord!
She thinks the House, the Senate, and the President are the three houses of.
Now there was one in there.
3 branches of government.
I have to admit. But I mean, I got a phone call. But while all of that was going on, I was on the phone, and one came in that said that search for such and such, you can see AOC porn.
Yeah, but it's Ruby Ridge.
Is that real or
no? You remember Ruby Ridge?
I know Ruby Ridge.
The whole point of it is to get people to search for Ruby Ridge if they haven't heard of it.
Okay.
Get it?
I got it.
Like, oh wow, Ruby Ridge, and then they're like.
But
oh wow! Our government did that. Yes, our government did that.
Yeah, no kidding. Actually,
I mean, I was a homeschooler in the early '90s.
Oh well, you know about
that kind of. I was homeschooled by fundamentalist Christians. So when you hear, oh wow, so the government wants to kill people like us, huh? You know, and yes, he did sell illegally sawed-off shotguns. Why? Because some you see comes up and goes, I bet I can catch this guy.
Yeah.
Well, would you? Oh, hell, I could do that. Sure. You need me to saw off a shotgun? I can do that. You know?
I mean,
what the hell?
Look at what they're doing. So you had Reuters, and there was a headline here that we had, which is just insane, where Reuters was saying that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What? I mean, so what planet? New Zealand pledges reforms as relaxed gun laws scrutinized. That's their headline. So they're saying that New Zealand has relaxed gun laws. Have you ever been to New Zealand?
No, but I know that the Antipodes is not known for, what was that, the Portmouth or the something Port Arthur? What was it? The I Hate Mondays shooting was there, right? In the 80s?
Oh no, you're talking about Harvard.
Was that
Harvard?
I'm not sure. I may be getting two stories confused. There was a couple of mass shootings. One of them was there
was a dude that went ballistic in Harvard, which is an island south of Australia.
Okay, yeah.
That was a while ago, and he ran amok.
The I Hate Mondays chick, was she in?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about? You know that song I Hate Mondays?
Yeah.
And it's based on the shooting. The girl and they asked her why did she do it, and she said I hate Mondays.
Oh.
Like whoa.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
We'll have to check that out. I have to look that up.
Yeah. I Hate Mondays shooting. Yeah.
So I've been
look on that chick's face.
Yeah. I don't like Mondays?
Or I don't like Mondays. Yeah. I don't like Mondays.
Okay. I don't like Mondays. Shooting. So the
Cleveland Elementary School. Yeah.
Grover Cleveland.
Oh no, that was in California then. Okay.
Oh, okay. So I mean, if you've been to New Zealand, there's it's incredibly hard to get a gun. I mean,
maybe he imported them from Australia.
It's hard, yeah. I mean, it's even more difficult.
Exactly.
You know, in Australia.
Exactly.
Now, the other thing too is that everyone. I mean, of course, you saw the video, and people are saying he went in with an automatic weapon. No. Okay. Stop right there.
When it sounds like this, boof, boof, boof,
yeah.
boof.
And
that's not an automatic.
And the other thing too is that even if it was a select fire weapon, I mean, he would be going full auto, and you'd be able to tell. And people were saying, "Oh, well, is this real video?" Anyone who's seen it knows that it's real. The caliber is right there. It's a 5.56, I think.
Killer soundtrack, though. I hate to admit.
Yeah,
it's like like somebody called him Quentin Tarantino.
Well, what he was doing is he actually timed.
Yeah.
He timed everything for.
That was crazy.
You know, he was making
and then he jumps back in the car and says, I am the god. I've had Arthur Brown stuck in my head for days now. Fire. Dun dun dun. Yeah.
Yeah. Nuts.
The asshole though, when he's saying stuff like, what was it? I blame Pootie Pie and Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Well, and idiots are falling for that.
Here's the thing. The only way that you're going to stop an asshole like that is to pull out a gun and fucking shoot him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Now, the funny thing is, at one of the mosques, a Muslim reached for a weapon. Also, they found bombs at another one of the locations. Wait a minute.
Well,
so
it was
there was accidentally an armory already at the mosque.
No, well, first of all, it was a credit card machine, is what they were talking about.
Oh yeah.
You know that this guy, chased him out with a credit card machine. There's no video on that. The second one. You know, we were on the story behind the story with Dr. A. Truott, and I asked him, you know, it's kind of early, but I said, well, what are your thoughts on this? And he's like, I'm not quite sure. I don't know.
Hey, did you know that they had an active shooter drill in Christchurch? I've got the radio.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? They should stop having active shooter drills because Charlottesville and Aurora, and you know, I notice whenever they have an active shooter drill and they get the feds in a city, then a shooter happens. So stop having these drills, guys.
Yeah.
I solved it. No, seriously, that's effed up, man. That's not cool.
And I think. You know, but it's a sticky situation because now what do? You've got mosques now that need to be protected. Now, normally churches, my family's Christian, and they go to church, and there's always police officers that go there, and they just like anyone else everybody's got guns. Everyone. I mean, you can carry in church, and it's fine, and people should. Now, even a little bit of pepper spray would have hit this guy off.
Right.
Okay. He wasn't wearing body armor that I could see. Maybe even if he was, you hit him, you know, hit him in the head. They say he was wearing a helmet. I know he had something on there, but if you see in the car, you're not seeing the helmet. There's no pictures of it. But bottom line is what is it going to take? You're going to have idiots like this, people that just blow a fuse and go crazy. So what's it take to stop them? And the point is that you need to stop them right now before the cops get there. And the only way to do it is
whenever people say, well, we need gun control to stop mass shootings. The largest death count for any mass shooting on earth was Bataclan, Paris. Are you saying Paris needs gun laws? Whoops.
Yeah.
Whoops. They've already got gun laws.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It evidently doesn't stop terrorism. And in fact, in places like England where it's really hard to get guns, well, that's why they just run you over in the streets by the dozens.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
You know, we need to ban attack vehicles.
And in fact, actually, a gun would be helpful there too.
Yeah.
You know, guns are helpful for any situation where you have somebody gone batshit crazy wanting to kill people,
have you seen
no matter
the PSAs
what reason.
Out of England where they're asking people to, you know, watch out for suspicious behavior, and they show different scenarios. One is a guy on the streets with a cell phone, and he's videotaping cops. Ooh, suspicious. Another is somebody in a hardware store buying a hammer and a knife, because God forbid you want to cut carrots and hammer a nail. Uh-oh, it's a terrorist. He's got a hammer and a knife.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen,
come on.
You know, in that guy's defense, have you ever gone into a supermarket and just bought some stuff just to mess with it?
Yes, absolutely.
You know, like apples and razor blades.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Duct tape and a rope and like a copy of Barney on DVD, just to see the look on their face. Yeah. I know what you mean.
Okay. That's just nuts. Can't have a sense of humor anymore, folks. Oh my Lord!
Get like some kind of yoga fitness DVD and lotion, nothing else.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Hey, I like to stretch certain parts of my body.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you know, I don't know, an apple peeler, a pumpkin, and a big thing of canola oil.
Yeah.
How about that? And a lighter. There you go. Yeah, nuts. You're just going to have to shoot these people when they start shooting other people. I mean, that's the only way about it. I mean, do it with a crossbow. Really? Or use one of the Pepper Blaster. There's a Swiss company. Actually, you know what? Let's. I'm going to put this up because I think that we should give these guys a. It's called the Pepper Blaster 2. Maybe they made a new one.
Oh, you're telling me about that one, the one that it'll get in your ears even if you're
Kimber.
Got eye cover.
Now, for those of you who are friends of guns and people that enjoy shooting, this is a. Why shouldn't everyone have one of these? I mean, when I saw this, and oops, we should do a video where somebody gets shot with it. Oh, this guy. I think this is a long video, but yeah, 22 minutes. All right, here's a quick one. So we'll see what we can do about getting this on. So Kimber is a firearms company, and they make a number of
LTL,
very high quality firearms. So if you've got a Kimber, it's something that. So this here's a guy getting shot with one of these things. Now, you don't have to worry about shooting somebody. You can just pull the trigger. You don't have to. It could be a hostage situation, and you get hit with one of these, and there is nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing you can do. You're not going to be able to reload. You could probably fire off the rest of your rounds, but that little tiny gun. I put Velcro on them. I bought a half dozen and sent them out to the families, and you know, you put a little Velcro on that, stick that pretty much anywhere. If somebody had that at the Pulse nightclub,
right?
Okay. If somebody had that at the mosque, okay. Now it's technically a pyrotechnic round. There is gunpowder in it that's going off, but thank God,
less than lethal, yeah.
California hasn't yet banned it, thank God. And what's in it is the most concentrated capsaicin allowed by law, any law, even law enforcement, and it's put into a gel. So when it hits, it'll actually go through if somebody's got glasses, if somebody's breathing. Even if it touches your ears, your eyes are going to go, and you're eventually going to just touch your face, and you're going to be blind within 2 seconds of getting hit with this. And the police will haul you away in a half hour, and you're going to be crying like a baby. You could shoot 5 of these in a crowd and barely go over the shoulder and hit somebody, the bad guy, you know, that is pointing a gun at somebody's head. And he's going to only kill one more person. He'll be on the ground after this. Now, why we don't have these Velcroed everywhere? And teach children, hey, listen, you know, you got to be careful with that. That's a gun. I mean, it's going to hurt. You know,
I've never been pepper sprayed against my will. Or tased, but
against your will.
Against my will, right?
Hear this one.
But you know, a couple of times on a dare. Like one time, I did get pepper sprayed. The first time it was just to see what it was like, and the second time it was on a dare for a pack of cigarettes. But like, what struck me is like, you know, if you've never been pepper sprayed, you maybe think, oh, so it burns your eyes. No, you can't breathe for a second. Your throat closes up, you involuntarily tense up and fall to the ground. I mean, like, it was kind of a kick, I'll be honest. Like, it was worth it for the experience. So, like, if you haven't been, you know, go get some pepper spray, find a friend, you know, try it out on each other. It's definitely a life experience. But no, I mean, like, I'm glad I had because I thought, like...
Dude, I have to say, I haven't been... I haven't been hit by it.
Oh man, yeah.
And I mean, I'm your friend.
It's like,
but we're not gonna make that a requirement, are we? I don't want it. No. I've seen enough guys hit by this.
Right?
Like,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
I want nothing to do with that.
It's happened to me twice, and that was maybe one too many, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of capsaicin, do you know like how expensive that crap is though? Like pure capsaicin?
Oh.
No, I mean like if you just go out and like when I was buying stuff because it can be used in all kinds of herbal formulations and stuff. Like if you want to get a kilogram of like pure capsaicin, not capsicum.
What are you up
not
to?
Pepper extract. I mean, it can be used for a lot of things.
What kind of blueprints are you drawing over there, man? Is there a helicopter involved?
Hey, I was
a kilogram.
I was just planning to protect the Muslims at the next mosque shooting. I swear it.
Come on. Okay, so tell me. I mean, it's expensive, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like I'm talking like a few $1,000s for a kilogram.
No kidding.
Like way more expensive than marijuana. Like I'm talking dankweed. Like dankweed or pure capsaicin. Like, yeah, by the pound, it's capsaicin. Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll get into that later. Why you needed to buy a kilogram?
No. I mean, like, it was on the catalog, and I saw it there. What surprised me was of all these herbs and extracts. Of all these herbs and extracts, it was literally one of the most expensive things on the list. That's why it stuck out to me. Like, yeah. No.
Well, these little guns, these Kimbers, they run at like I think $30, $35, and they've got a shelf life of 5 years, and there's 2 shots, which is good. It's not just one. So, and by the way, for you guys who buy them, it's the first shot goes off of the top, and the trigger reset it's probably like maybe almost a 10-pound trigger. There's a little tab that goes in there, so it's about a 10-pound trigger, and then the second one is on the bottom, so it shoots on the first. And I think the thinking is that you're going to hit high, and then when they're dropping, you're going to hit them again, and you basically just shoot twice and run, and they're not going to be able to do much. And you can just watch these videos online all day long about these big tough cops getting hit in the face. I mean, nobody can get hit in the face with this stuff. And the other thing too is that if this guy was wearing a bulletproof vest, this will get to him,
right?
I mean, so you're going to have to be shooting something really, really. I mean, even some of the Kevlar right now that they're running. I recommend anyone that has any questions about Kevlar or, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of rumors that are going around, and some of the stuff that was on 8chan, going about. It's like, and you get in these people, people that are debating what caliber was being used and would that go through and what. I hate to segue like this. But look at the people who are shooting guns practically and safely on YouTube, I mean, they're totally defunded. But take a look at the people that are doing real life scenarios and actually shooting armored plates, bulletproof vests, going through different calibers, and there's some fun involved in it. But there's also a lot of science. I mean, there's a huge amount of science. Did you know that 18 inches of dry ice will stop a 50 caliber? A 50 cal. Wow. And I mean, 50 caliber will go through this studio all the way through.
50 cal break your arm if you're not holding it right.
Well, if you're on the receiving, if you're on the shooting end, but I mean, a 50 caliber, even just a regular ball round, just a regular jacketed round, is going to go through engine blocks. It's going to go through pretty much everything, but 18 inches of dry ice will actually stop it. So I mean,
is it because it cools it down, or
dry ice is more dense than regular ice. I mean, if you shot regular ice, it would go through probably a 50 cal would probably go through 5 feet,
right? Yeah,
of regular ice, but 18 inches of dry ice. So Matt on Demolition Ranch did that. So go check it out. If you guys have questions about firearms, how to handle them safely, but also, I mean, the guy's just entertaining as hell. So check out Matt at Demolition Ranch. He's totally defunded by YouTube, so, good job. Everyone is. Hickok 45, 22 Plankster, all of those guys, they're all defunded. But they're good people. If you have any questions about firearms,
YouTube only monetizes child exploitation these days, apparently.
That's the only way to make the dough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and PewDiePie got some action recently. He got a good plug.
That's so horrible, though.
I know.
And he says, subscribe to PewDiePie.
That's so bad.
But,
really is.
It's
terrible.
And,
it is.
No, seriously, if you read the manifesto, at one point he said, I was inspired by Candace Owens, but I can't go as far as she would like. And I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. The same Candace Owens that... So you're saying Candace Owens... You're a mass murdering terrorist, but Candace Owens is over the line for you? The guy was trolling.
Yeah,
it was a sick joke.
It's a total troll.
But he's fucking with y'all.
Have you read the whole thing? Yeah.
Yes. Spyro the Dragon inspired his ethno-nationalism. No one will mention that. No one will mention he calls himself an eco-fascist. He was an environmentalist and a socialist.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Then how come he says he supports Israel? He's a far-right, anti-Semite. Wait, you didn't even read the fucking thing, did you? Because he said...
No, they're just clipping it off.
And he knew that would happen.
And it's funny.
He knew that they would... Because they always say, well, we shouldn't give this guy the, he knows that that's what they always say. So he's like, here's what I'll do. I'll put pieces in that I know they'll pick up PewDiePie and 8chan and Candace Owens, but I'm going to throw all this stuff in there, and they're going to pretend like it never happened until nobody will read it. Okay. Remember when Chris Cuomo said, now listen, you guys, you can't read WikiLeaks. That's illegal. Now, it's different for us because we're the media.
Right, yeah.
It reminds me of the 800s, back when the priests are like, no, you can't read the Bible. I will read it and interpret it for you. There's a new priest, honestly.
No, it's nuts. I mean, the guy was planning a crime, okay? Right down to the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
He said he spent 2 years or whatever on it. Yeah.
You got your guns. He's got his guns all painted and the whole deal, the whole gizmo, and he's planning to kill all these people. You don't think that the manifesto is come on, he's planning a crime. One of the things that you would do just to screw with people is to, if you wanted a kidnapper to, if you were a kidnapper, you're not going to use your own handwriting. I mean, are you going to clip paper out? Are you going to... No, what you're going to do is, this guy, I guarantee you, there are places, for example... okay, so take a look at... maybe that's a little too close to home. There are people who sell sprays, private investigators, that will sell sprays with massive DNA. Ooh. So if you're in a place where your DNA, you don't want your DNA, one of the things that you do is just take this can of spray and it's got massive DNA, human DNA. I mean, just thousands of people in a can, little can. And so your DNA is going to be one. You just made yourself one of 10,000 suspects,
right? By
using this little can.
Wow.
Or maybe there was 5 before, and now there's 10,000 people. So this is the type of guy that would buy something like that. You know what I mean? So what do you think his manifesto is going to look like? It's going to be 10,000 people. It's going to be, this nonsense.
And and it pisses me off. I'll admit I pissed some people off trying to explain how I feel. When I said he's trolling us, talk about trolling to their families.
Oh,
I said it's a sick joke.
Right.
I said it's a sick joke and it's a tragedy. But if you read the manifesto, his main point was he was trolling.
Mm-hmm.
Murder and terrorism was a means to an end.
Well,
now that doesn't click with most people's heads because most people are not insane.
Yeah. That's a ticket that needs to get punched in order for you to get into the show. Right?
Right.
I mean, and actually in this case, he's on stage for a little while. It'll be interesting to see how that trial works out.
Do you notice how they blurred his face in the pictures?
What the hell? We all know what he looks like.
Right.
New Zealand, he's not a kid, but I guess it's one of these
also,
deals
he did he's flashing a white supremacist symbol.
What is going on with this?
The ADL wrote an article saying, guys, that was a 4chan troll. It's not anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
We're the ADL.
Yeah.
Even when stuff's not anti-Semitic, we say it is.
Yeah.
But this time we're saying it's not.
Yeah.
If the ADL says it's not they think 9/11 conspiracies are anti-Semitic.
Oh, no.
But this isn't, okay?
It actually goes as far as the picture that we have of Malik Obama on the interview, okay?
Right.
Here's Malik Obama. This means okay? Also, in other countries, it means asshole, especially if you do it this way.
Yeah, look at my finger.
In Brazil,
right.
This has nothing to do with white supremacy, aside from the fact that somebody on 4chan
in
said it
India,
did, and then somebody
in
picked
India,
it up.
it means satya, which is truth, and people in the markets, like, oh, are you sure?
Well, let's go hang out there for a while. I'm tired of this stuff. I mean, I'm tired of you can't even use your hands anymore because it's hey, how's everything going? Okay. Oh God, white supremacists.
I'm against the Federal Reserve and think
diving?
that the bankers have too much control and don't like globalists. Listen to all those anti-Semitic dog whistles.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that Jews run the banks and because then you're anti-Semitic. Have you noticed that, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
If you say globalist, I mean like globalist and talking about the bankers and the Federal Reserve, I've read that those are actually secretly anti-Semitic dog whistles. So you're saying that...
I know.
I say that saying that is an anti-Semitic dog whistle is anti-Semitic.
I'm just wondering what to do with my hands.
That's claiming that all the bankers are Jews, when in fact... only most of them are.
I haven't. This would be interesting. Have you ever gone scuba diving? You ever gone down scuba diving?
Oh, no, yeah.
So one of the things, you always dive with a partner, okay? And you can't talk because you got,
Right?
You're underwater. And one of the things that you're always checking on.
Like when the SWAT team comes in?
No, but you're checking constantly as you're going down, and there's check levels. So it depends on how far you're going, and you've always got a dive partner, always. Unless you're stupid or have been diving for a really long time. And one of the things that, I know I'm just thinking about this now, it's like, picking up a dive partner, and one of the things that you're signaling, you have to use hand signals, and the thing that you're using is
right.
So I'm just wondering.
Divers are all.
I'm wondering if
white
I wonder if PADI, which is a dive certification, basically the organization that certifies you for diving, that allows you to be able to get tanks and go diving. I wonder if PADI is going to have to change their. Because this is when you're diving, you do okay. And so now if I'm diving and I don't have a partner and they team me up with somebody and I'm in Aruba and I've got a black diving partner, is this going to mean white power? Is he going to take his spear gun out and shoot me? I mean, come on.
I can't remember who it was, one of Trump's cabinet or somebody in the administration. And I remember they caught him doing this, and he also said cosmopolitan. And they're like, oh, well, one's a white power symbol, and cosmopolitan is an anti-Semitic dog whistle. Nowhere in the article does it mention the guy's Jewish. Let's just leave that part out because that ruins the whole damn story.
Yeah.
We can't mention that the anti-Semitic white power dude is Jewish.
I brought snuff.
Oh, nice.
You want some?
Yeah, yeah.
Might as well. Here we go. Oh, I pulled this out the other day in front of a girl. And I said, listen, I'm not doing, this is tobacco. Oh, actually, there was a guy that was there too. And I was saying, listen, this is tobacco. This is, when you
As far as I know, the only brown drug is what, like
heroin.
Hash and heroin? Yeah.
Hash, yeah.
Hash, heroin, and opium. And you don't snort. And if it's heroin, it's in a tar form, as far as I know. Oh.
Yeah, I've never seen, I've seen people, the effects of heroin on people, but
oh yeah, I've
which
seen
is
bums passed out on the sidewalk,
San Francisco, and needles all around. But as far as the substance itself, but there is hash, which is like which is kind of like in a block, and it kind of looks like clay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this was in Europe. You heat it up a little bit, and you roll it with tobacco,
yep.
and you put those two leaves together, and you roll what we call the pétard, which in French would be translated to like a farter, I guess, a pétard.
Oh yeah.
So, or a cone.
Yeah, yeah.
And so one of these big, and you just on the streets in Geneva be rolling this up, and the cops will come by and take a look and just ask you, well, so how your kids doing? Everything okay?
Yeah.
And you light it up right in front of them, no problem whatsoever. Now they did have some weird stuff in Geneva and in Zurich. You could just shoot.
I hear they got great conventions there. Like they got a big convention center, the Geneva Convention Center.
Arabs?
The Geneva Convention Center.
God.
What was it?
Bologna?
It wasn't a very good joke.
It wasn't. Okay. Geneva.
Like even better than the Holiday Inn Convention Center is the Geneva Convention.
There you have it. No, but they do have l'ONU, which is the United Nations.
Right. Yeah.
And that's a really cool place to like break away. It's huge. This place is really huge, and if you go on a tour day and you just, I don't know. I mean, we were just wandering around for quite a while in places we shouldn't have over there for a bit. It was interesting, just peeking into, and it just looks like a bunch of foreign people that make too much money.
Right.
That are driving, diplomatic. That's the coolest thing, though. You have to admit. I mean, I'll tell you what, having a diplomatic plate and a passport, come on.
They need to make a Lethal Weapon 4 where after they shoot the guys, diplomatic immunity revoked. And then they're at war with South Africa in Lethal Weapon 4. Because that's what would have really happened.
Yeah.
That's called an international incident.
Yeah.
Yes, they were drug dealers. They were also drug dealers with diplomatic tags, and you just shot them without any due process. That is how wars get started. Yeah.
Yeah, but don't
worry.
It was
a cool movie, though.
It was.
That's a great line. Diplomatic immunity revoked.
Yeah.
That's great. Like, not at all realistic, but awesome.
Got to have one of those one-liners on there.
Yeah.
Man.
That's what action movies from my generation are missing. Oh, that and action stars.
Wait, what was the name of the chick? So that was Lethal Weapon 3?
Was it? Or was it 2?
I don't know. The South African gizmo where they're just, oh, gee, everybody hates South. And now, really, look at what's happening. Oh, my God, let's go kill white people. But the chick was really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. If you're into that Caucasian stuff.
I mean, like, I like white chicks still a little bit. Sure,
really?
Sure. Yeah.
Really?
A little bit, yeah. Like I wouldn't date one necessarily.
One of our executives and I we were having dinner the other night at a decent restaurant, and I sat down, and there are two white women over there. Okay, I don't want to spoil anything, but this is over in the neighborhood of CNN headquarters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just give people a little taste of maybe what we're up to. But anyway, they're two white women, and we're just like, well, first of all, they're an oddity here. I don't know about you, but when I see a white woman, I'm like, whoa, around here, they're pretty rare. I mean, so there's two of them sitting there, and so Tom is one of the friends of a producer, and he said, well, do you want to go over there? And the point would be, I just want to get up and just say, listen, you're expecting me to hit on you, but I just want to tell you I'm not going to. Not.
Like you don't see a lot of white chicks here, but every time I do, it reminds me. I'll just and like, okay, I've always said, saying an attractive Filipino or a cute Filipino, that's sort of redundant. But I'm not just talking about looks. I mean, as far as attitude.
Oh yeah.
And they're just generally sweeter people.
Yeah.
Now that goes for the males and the females, though.
No, that's true.
I mean, like,
But you can see the ugliness in San Francisco. You can see the hate permeating.
Exactly. There's something about the way they carry themselves.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you'll go back and you're gonna get a culture shock.
I know.
It's gonna and you'll see it.
I miss some people, but I don't miss the place. No.
But you'll see. Well, you're gonna be going back to Tennessee, so. That's generally a nice friend.
Yeah, here now McMinnville's all right, but Nashville might as well be. Nashville, I call LA outpost number 3, because there's LA. New York is LA outpost number 1, and then Chicago is LA outpost number 2. Then Nashville, LA outpost number 3. There ain't no country folks in the country music capital.
So, are you flying through LA?
SFO, yeah.
Okay, so San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
I had to spend the night there once. Like,
yeah.
they do have a lot of cool artwork, though.
I did too. So you're going through San Francisco.
I was safe though, because I had a book about Andrew Cunanan, which while I was, half sleeping, I kept it right here. Yeah. Like, no, guys.
Yeah.
Trust me, like
Well, try it this time, but I got a copy of just some reading for you on the plane.
Oh yeah.
So when you land in San Francisco, and make sure and take your snuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So keep a copy of Mein Kampf right just there and see what happens. See what happens. I'm serious. No, I mean, I had you guys, if you've seen the show like a year ago, I had a laptop that had Hillary for Prison.
Right.
And that's just like a spare laptop that, and in San Francisco, they had, you got to pull all of these out. And so I've got 3 laptops and I've got a bunch of bins, and the guy's being really cool with me. And he says, hey, you know how to travel, and you've got tons of. And he picks up the bin and he says, now everybody, I want to show you, this is how you're going to be packing your, it's just the Hillary for Prison right across in San Francisco going in. And you can bet when I went through the line, everything got checked. Of course, I got pulled aside, but they held that laptop for like 10 minutes and checked it for drugs and checked it for everything, But I thought it was funny, And the guy actually, when he put it down, he kind of had a sense of humor. I think he was a closet.
I was surprised. I got felt up in Tennessee by TSA, but not in San Francisco.
Well, we'll see what happens next time. We'll see what happens next time, folks. Thanks for joining us. It's been Nothing to Declare. With Philip Fairbanks and Major Burdock here.
Until the next time.
Godspeed.